Hey guys, Multi here. Yeah, let us talk today about Molten Core first day of raiding in Season of Discovery Phase 4. Yesterday it started. Sure, there is not a lot of data, but we already have a bunch of data, to be honest. If you go down here, you see especially on the, let me say, important or really played specs, a lot of numbers, or what means a lot, but 300, 400, 250, whatever. Sure, on specs that are not played, like Sub Rogue, or at the moment Melee Hunter, or whatever, Frost Mage, there's barely data. Combat Rogue, barely data, but on all the really played specs we have a good amount of data. That's why I want to go over it. Things can change, but they will not change dramatically over the next few days. Sure, with more and more equip, things will change for sure, scaling and everything, but at the moment we this is how it looks. This is right now the tier list. This was my prediction before Phase 2 started, as you can see it here. So let's hop over it and let's talk what was right or wrong. Yeah, you can see Arcane Mage, I had it on the bottom, it is now the bottom. Arms Warrior I did not even put, because for me it was sure that there is no reason to play it. I can now put it there as well if you want it. Should we make a C tier? So then maybe that would be here, maybe the would this be C, B, A? Yeah, maybe. Okay, so if we would have a C tier, then Shadow Priest is not there anymore. We would have here Sub Rogue, but I also didn't even put it because, again, here not necessary to play. Same with Demo Warlock. Demo Warlock is a PvP spec, I would say, that you can also play as a you can also play it as a tank if you want it. That would be working out, but damage wise it is pretty bad. Melee Hunter is not even here. What sign was here my Melee Hunter? That's a good question. I don't know, but here's Survival, Marksman and Melee, so I would say this is the Melee Hunter in that case, even if it makes not a lot of sense, but this is how it is at the moment. Then the Balanced Druid. Okay, Balanced Druid, I had it in B tier. It is doing not that good at the moment, but I think it will rise again because of scaling. I think Balanced Druid is one of the classes that has a scaling and everything, and because of the burst that they have. And then the last one maybe would be Frost Mage. I had it in B tier, it is C tier right now. Then maybe the start would be of the B tier would be Destruction Warlock. It's doing not that good, but I think it has a good chance to rise, also because I think it is a little bit more bursty than other specs. Not sure about the scaling, to be honest, but yeah, if I think shorter duration fights could benefit it. And then we have the Combat Rogue, and I had it on A tier. It seems like now it's just in a B tier category, which is fine. Let me say, on B tier we start to talk about specs that make sense and you can definitely bring it. The only other one that you maybe should bring from C tier or below would be the Balanced Druid. All the other specs make not a lot of sense in my opinion. Then we have the Shadow Priest. It is in the middle of the pack, not very good, not very bad. Then we had here the Retribution Paladin, which I already had here as well. And then maybe, yeah, that would be the question now. If we start now the A tier, I think let's make a positive tier list because things can change and I would like to motivate the people to play it. So Fire Mage at the moment is the first spec on A tier. It is doing okay. It will do better with scaling, with shorter fights. We know this is how usually Fire Mage works, or what means usually, but it will benefit him in the scaling definitely. Same for Warrior. Warrior is, I think I explained it on my, that will not be a day one S tier, but it will rise, and I'm pretty sure, I'm still pretty sure about it, that it will rise. So right now, first week, it is already one of the better specs that is leading even more to my conclusion that we will see Fury Warrior rising a lot. It will be at the end of Phase 1, in my opinion, already an S tier spec. Affliction Warlock, I had it as well on A tier. It is on A tier, just a little bit behind some other specs. It's doing quite well. It's well rounded at the moment, I would say. It has some scaling and whatever, so it's doing quite okay, as you can see here on the numbers. And I think there were not a lot of people, playing it, so the people that played it did a good job. Next one is Feral Druid. I only had it in B tier. It's doing better, as it seems like. It's a pretty good spec at that moment. And now I would say let's hop to the S tier. Let us make, like I said again, a positive tier list. That means we go to the Enhancement Shaman. Is already maybe the first S tier spec. It's doing quite well. It is together with Rogue the best melee spec in the game. It's just overall very well rounded. I'm not sure about the scaling of Enhancement Shaman. I think they will not scale as good as Rogue and Warrior for the future of the game of Season of Discovery, but they are right now in a very good spot. Marksman Hunter, what should I say? Raiding, dungeons, PvP, Hunter is just very strong at the moment, to be honest. So if you play Hunter, Survival, Marksman, whatever, I just added already here again, it is just a very, very strong class overall in Season of Discovery. It was all over Season of Discovery, pretty strong. Sometimes first, second, third, whatever. It has everything what it needs. It had some nice additions to the game. Hunter was already working pretty good in Classic Vanilla, but it always was lacking of some little adjustments to make it as strong as Warrior, Mage, Rogue and Season of Discovery gave, in my opinion. Hunter exactly the things that they need. Now for me, the biggest surprise, I would say, especially on week 1, is Elemental Shaman. The biggest positive surprise is Elemental Shaman. It is on a second place. It's also like, as you can see here, not that much data, which already depends on, it's only playable on Horde side, but I would say it is enough data to make a conclusion here that Elemental Shamans are pretty strong. Elemental Shamans are also pretty bursty, which makes me feel it could go even more in the future. So I don't see them losing a lot of places, besides they would get nerfed, but should they get nerfed on that spot that they are right now? In my opinion, not, but you never know with Blizzard. And then we have the number 1 spec, which I also predicted pretty high at the start. It is Rogue. On Rogue, I would say right now, especially on as a Rogue, because you see the other Rogue specs are not doing that good. It is kind of the same like with Hunter, but even on a bigger step right now. Rogue is already doing good in Classic Vanilla, but it has some additions which make them outshine, especially usually the King of the Kings, the Warrior. Will that change over the time? I think yes. Will it change already in phase 1? Not sure. Could be possible, but not sure. So overall, Rogue is the best class at the Rogue is the best melee at the moment. Elemental Shaman is the best range at the moment, and then super quick followed by Hunter and Enhancement Shaman. So overall, if we talk about surprises or not, this is heat level, just to make it clear, it's heat level 3. The other things, don't get me wrong, is the same, just a little bit more easy. So that will not mean that Arms Warrior is an S tier spec there, or Asa Rogue is an F tier spec on another heat level, and 95 percentile, which I usually always use. Again, it's only 1 day, so things can change over the next day, but it's already giving you a hint on where things are going. So, let us talk about surprises. Again, as I said, for me, I think the biggest positive surprise is Elemental Shaman. Elemental Shaman. I had him only in, I think it was high B tier, but they are right now the second best spec in the raid. And I'm not sure if I would say there is a a real negative surprise. Is there a real negative surprise? I think everything is quite there where we expected it. Sure, one tier changing up and down, that's always possible. Maybe if I would have to pick one, it would be balanced druid. I had them a little bit higher, but it's really just a small, yeah, I don't know. I think we don't have a real negative surprise. We have a positive surprise with Elemental Shaman. This is how it looks at the moment. So if you want to adjust your class because of that, so do it now. We will have scaling on Fire Mage, in my opinion, on Fury Warrior. Let's see, maybe even on Elemental Shaman again because of their bursting. Not sure of scaling in general, but scaling with faster boss fights, and I would say maybe the same about Retribution Paladin and the Balanced Druid. So let's see how things continue. This is a picture of the moment right now, and yeah, that's it. Good luck, guys. Have fun in Molten Core, Season of Discovery, and Phase 4. See you. Bye bye.